Have you noticed quiet but troubling changes in someone you care about over the past year? We often think of death in old age as something that comes suddenly, a fall, a heart attack, or a final illness. But in truth, the body tends to whisper long before it shouts. There are small, gradual signs that begin to appear, clues that the end of life may not be far off. The problem is, they're easy to miss. It's usually only in hindsight that we realize how clear they were. By then, the chance to prepare, to connect, to comfort, to be present has slipped away. In this video, we'll explore 5 key signs that often appear during the final year of an elderly person's life. Some may seem like normal aging, but they often signal something deeper, the body quietly preparing to let go. Knowing these signs can help you care more intentionally, hold on to meaningful time, and support your loved one with calm, understanding, and dignity. Please stay with us through to the end. This knowledge may offer clarity and perhaps a little peace during one of life's most difficult transitions. Let's begin. Sign 1. Noticeable and unexplained weight loss. One of the earliest signals that someone may be nearing the end of life is a steady drop in weight, even when they haven't changed what they eat. At first, it might just seem like they're eating lighter meals, or that their clothes are fitting looser than usual. Some families even take it as a positive, a sign of being health-conscious. But weight loss in older adults without intention is almost never harmless. It often means the body is no longer processing food the way it should. Muscle starts breaking down, nutrient absorption declines, and systems that once worked quietly in the background are now beginning to slow. In people over 80, this kind of decline can appear quietly, like skipping meals, losing interest in food, or eating far less than usual. Taste fades, digestion weakens, and in many cases, the body simply stops sending hunger signals. Take Eleanor, for example. She was 85, always had a sweet tooth, and loved her morning toast with jam. But one day, her daughter noticed she'd left most of her breakfast untouched. A few weeks later, her clothes hung off her shoulders, and her energy had dipped sharply. Families often try to help by offering favorite meals or adding protein shakes. But if the body is in decline, those efforts may have limited effect. This type of weight loss isn't about dieting. It's the body's quiet way of preparing for what's next. Instead of pushing heavy meals, it's often better to focus on comfort, easy-to-swallow foods, small portions, and plenty of hydration. So, if you've noticed a loved one eating less, shrinking in size, or growing noticeably weaker, don't ignore it. It could be one of the clearest signs that the body is preparing to rest, and recognizing it early can help you respond with understanding, gentleness, and care that truly supports them. Sign 2. Deep exhaustion that rest can't fix. One of the most noticeable changes in the final stretch of life is a kind of tiredness that goes far beyond feeling sleepy. It's the kind of fatigue that settles into the bones, where getting dressed, sitting upright, or walking a few steps starts to feel like climbing a hill. This isn't the usual weariness that comes from age or a restless night. It's the body beginning to power down. As energy reserves dwindle, the body starts protecting what little it has. The heart slows. Blood doesn't circulate as easily. Muscles grow weaker, and oxygen doesn't reach the tissues as it once did. The result? Basic activities, like getting out of bed, making a cup of tea, or having a conversation, can feel overwhelming. You might see someone who once moved about freely, now needing long naps throughout the day, or struggling to stay awake during moments that used to excite them. Charles, age 87, used to take a short walk each morning. Then one day, he didn't feel up to it. The next week, he skipped breakfast to rest. Eventually, he needed help just to sit up and swing his legs over the bed. For loved ones, this change is hard to witness. It's tempting to encourage them. Let's go for a little walk. Just try to eat something. But pushing doesn't help. At this stage, the body is no longer asking to be active. It's asking for quiet, for comfort, and for space to simply be. What matters most now is presence, gentle company, and the grace to allow them rest, without guilt, without pressure. If your loved one seems constantly drained, no matter how much they sleep, it may not be laziness. It could be a sign that their body is moving toward its final rhythm, and honoring that rhythm is one of the most compassionate things you can do. If you're still here and finding this valuable, please comment below to let me know you are still watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Your support helps us create great content to inform and inspire. Now, let's continue. Sign 3. A fading connection to the world around them. In the months leading up to life's final stage, many people begin to show quiet changes in how they think, communicate, and respond to those around them. They may forget details they once remembered easily, repeat themselves during conversations, or seem confused about where they are, even in familiar settings. Some begin to lose track of time, miss important dates, or struggle with basic decisions. Even those who never showed signs of memory trouble before can suddenly seem different, less sharp, less engaged. These shifts aren't just typical forgetfulness. They're the result of the brain receiving less oxygen, less blood flow, and fewer nutrients. As the body slows down, so does the mind. For example, Margaret was 83 and always had a quick wit. But one day she asked her son, twice in the same hour, what day it was. A week later, she forgot her granddaughter's name for a moment. It wasn't constant confusion, but it came and went, and it grew more frequent over time. You may also notice emotional distancing. A person who once enjoyed chatting and laughter now sits quietly, staring at nothing, lost in thought. It's not that they've stopped caring. It's that their brain no longer processes interactions the way it used to. Even loud environments, bright lights, or busy rooms can become overwhelming. Some grow anxious, others become unusually quiet. Some may react with irritation, while others seem strangely at peace, as if they're turning inward, away from the noise of the world. It's easy to feel heartbroken watching someone you love retreat into themselves. But the best way to support them is not by pulling them back. It's by meeting them where they are. Sit beside them, speak gently, hold their hand. Let your presence be louder than your words. Even when memory fades, love can still be felt. Sign 4. A noticeable decline in the body's ability to recover. As the body enters its final stages, its defenses begin to weaken, quietly and often gradually. You may start to notice that small health problems linger longer than they used to. A mild cold turns into a week in bed. A tiny scratch takes weeks to close. What once healed in days now barely improves in that same time. It's not just aging, it's the immune system slowing down. Take Harold, age 86. He developed a simple sore on his leg from sitting in the same spot too long. It seemed minor at first, but weeks passed and it never fully healed. Eventually, it became infected, despite medications and careful attention. That's what happens when the body can no longer fight back as it once did. The skin, organs, and blood struggle to work together. Oxygen doesn't reach tissues as easily, and wounds remain open, vulnerable to further infection. Repeated infections, like UTIs, chest colds, gum disease, or even skin flare-ups, are common in the final stretch of life, and they tend to return faster than expected. Sometimes there's no fever, no clear signs, just a shift in mood, a drop in appetite, or confusion that seems to appear out of nowhere. These quiet symptoms can often be the body's only warning, and while we may wish for more treatments, stronger medications, or better results, there comes a time when it's not about curing anymore. It's about caring, hydration, gentle cleaning, a calm space. These become more important than aggressive intervention. It's difficult to accept, but when healing slows, the body is asking for ease, not more struggle. If you've noticed infections appearing more often, or wounds that just won't heal, don't dismiss them as random. They may be telling you that the body is gently letting go. This is the time to be present, to offer comfort, and to meet their needs with quiet compassion. Sign 5. Shifts in breath and circulation that speak volumes without a single word. As the body prepares to rest, you may notice changes in how your loved one breathes. Their breaths may come slower, shallower, or stop briefly before continuing again. Some days they breathe easily. Other times it's more labored, with long pauses or patterns that seem unfamiliar. This isn't random. It's the body redirecting its final energy toward essential functions. The lungs, heart, and nervous system are all gradually slowing down. One common pattern is irregular breathing. Fast for a moment, then still, then a few deep breaths again. You may also notice that they breathe through the mouth more often or speak less because it feels like too much effort. Then there are changes in the skin. Fingertips, toes, even the lips or nose may start to feel cool. They may appear pale, bluish, or mottled in color. This is circulation pulling away from the outer edges of the body, preserving blood flow for the vital organs. Audrey, 89, began to sleep in a recliner because lying flat made her feel breathless. Her family thought she just had a cold, but within weeks she was too weak to speak full sentences. Her breathing slowed, her hands felt colder, and her energy was nearly gone. It's moments like these that can feel alarming. You may want to call for help, encourage deeper breaths, or worry something is wrong. But often, this is simply part of the natural progression. The body is doing what it knows how to do, letting go, gently. At this stage, the goal is comfort, a cool room, soft pillows, quiet music, moistening the lips. These small acts can ease distress far more than any medication ever could. If you see these signs, if breath becomes shallow, hands grow cold, or circulation changes, know that it's not a failure of care. It's the body preparing for stillness, and in that stillness, your presence is the greatest gift you can give. As we close this video, take a quiet moment to reflect. We've talked about 5 powerful signs: changes in weight, a deepening fatigue, cognitive shifts, repeated infections, and differences in breathing and circulation. They often begin months before the final chapter, gently signaling that the body is beginning to let go. They rarely arrive all at once, and sometimes they're so subtle they're easy to dismiss. Until one day you realize the person you love is slowly fading. These signs can be painful to witness. You may want to fight against them. Urge your loved one to eat more, move more, or try harder. But the truth is, this is a time not for pushing, but for accepting, for listening, for loving, and for simply being present. Knowing what to look for doesn't remove the grief, but it helps you prepare, emotionally, practically, and spiritually. It allows you to create space for peace and presence rather than panic and regret. It gives you a chance to hold their hand, speak from the heart, and walk alongside them with clarity and compassion. If someone you care about is showing these signs, know that you're not alone. Many others have walked this path, and while it's never easy, it can also be one of the most meaningful and sacred times you'll ever share. Thank you for being here. We'd love to hear from you. Please share something you've learned today, or a story you feel others might relate to. Your thoughts matter. They help others feel seen, and they help us continue creating videos that support, comfort, and inform. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. It means more than you know. We're grateful for your presence, and we hope to see you again in the next video.